We're going to start this off with an interview from Adam Aldama. Hopefully I pronounced his last name right. Adam Aldama. And we didn't even know we were going to interview this guy. We had interviews set up, and I researched a bunch of the people, all the people, and either me or Jeff, and so we had questions prepared, and a bunch of people we didn't know were gonna be there showed up, so we're like, oh, okay, I don't know what to ask you. So this guy literally he came in. I don't even think that Ben had asked him at first. I think he just came in to show Ben some new artwork, and he was like, hey, these guys are here. I don't know this for sure, so I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure because I was kind of watching in the background. I think he just kind of came in like, hey, I want to show you some new work, and he's like, hey, these guys are here recording. Why don't you do an interview? And he just sat around for 2 or 3 hours waiting for it to be his turn. And I didn't know what to expect because I just kind of saw him come off the street. I'm like, oh, who is this guy? Okay, So he sits down and we're like, don't really know anything about you, so why don't you just introduce yourself? And he takes off and to this awesome interview that was hysterical. And this guy, I gotta say, is pretty awesome. Not to give all the stuff away, but just working for the school system, school district, and drawing comics, and his publishing plan, as you will hear. But I want to say this anyways. Is just to basically draw his comic and then hand out free copies of his comic to the kids at school. So we basically were teasing him okay, so you're the comic book version of a drug pusher. All right, first one's free, here you go. And so it was a great interview, and without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it.
My name's Adam Aldama. I'm from Sacramento. I've been drawing since I was a little guy. Cartoons have always inspired me, like when X-Men first came out on Fox, and Batman on WB, all that good stuff. So I was always watching those cartoons. And then my dad, he bought me my first comic book when I was probably around 2nd grade, and it was the Hulk versus Spider-Man, and it's the one who drew it was Mark Bagley. And man, I love his work. He's my favorite artist till this day. Him and Jim Lee are man, it's like a toss-up between those two guys right there. And so reading comics since I was a little guy, I drew a lot in school, so everybody knew me around as the guy that drew and stuff. Like, hey man, can you draw me a picture? Can you draw me this? Can you draw me that? Okay. So I was the art guy, and then last couple months back, I did this comic book right here. It's a crossover between my two favorite characters called it's Deadpool. It's a Deadpool comic, and it's a crossover with him and Batman. Okay. And so, of course, they're my two favorite characters. I can't get it published because of copyright issues, of course. But it's a real funny comic. The comic's mainly about Deadpool's hungry, and he's looking around for some mayonnaise. So he has these 3 igloos he's looking through, and they're from the Blob that he fought back in the day or whatnot. And so he goes through all 3, and the 3rd igloo has the mayonnaise in it, and he cracks it open and he time warps to Gotham City. And so he asks Batman. He catches Batman in a fight while he's beating up a bank robber or something, and he goes, hey, can I be your sidekick? And Batman straight up says, heck no, man. And so Deadpool, he's crying in the alleyway, and he overhears a TV commercial, and Joker's on TV doing the whole Brand X thing, from the first Batman movie. And so he gets in touch with the Joker. Him and Joker create a plan to basically mess with Batman. And so that's what that story right there is about.
Okay. Yeah, it looks, just looking through it, it looks pretty awesome.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. These are the kind of stories that you can't really ever see because they don't do stuff, but then you did it.
Yeah.
So it's
exactly.
Awesome.
And I work there at the school district, and so a bunch of the kids over here that I draw and stuff like that, and so I give them copies of the comic book, and they like it. They come back like, oh man, that was hecka funny, I really like that. So
that's cool.
But since I couldn't get this published up, I'm in the works right now of my own character. His name's Knockout. Okay. And the design of him is a cross between Deadpool and the Scarlet Spider.
Okay, so those are both awesome designs.
Yes. So
Spider's probably my favorite iteration of Spider-Man ever.
Yeah, the clone saga was pretty cool. And he has these guns that shoot out boxing gloves.
Okay.
So it's a funny comic, and he also has a sidekick cat by the name of Speedy Mitts.
All right.
Yeah, so it's in the works right now, but
and this one you're actually going to publish?
Yeah,
okay.
This one I'm actually going to publish. So the Deadpool comic took me about a month to do. I didn't work on it every day.
So
but
you did all of this in a month.
In 1
so
month.
you're pretty fast then with your.
It takes me about 2 hours a page.
Okay.
So what I do is I downloaded Comic Life from my Mac, and I write out the script on Word first, and then I put the narrations and the bubbles and all that good stuff on Comic Life, and then I print them out, and then I basically draw around it.
Okay. So that's your process then, is you do all your you do the
Start
panel
with
layout.
dialogue.
Yeah, I start with dialogue. I have to start with dialogue. That way I know what they're saying and all that other good stuff, and that way I can determine their expressions on their face.
And then so you'd actually not only the dialogue, but you do the panel layout on Comic Life as well, and then so then you just have to go in and draw it in.
Yep.
Okay.
So
That just seems like such a better way to do it. Than
It is.
Why didn't I think of that?
I'm glad they came out with that program, because it's like, oh man, it helps me out so much. But,
Yeah, Google that real quick so I don't forget.
Comic Life, yeah. It's go on download.com, and they have like a free, 30-day trial or whatnot.
Okay.
And if you want to buy it, it's like, I think $20.
Oh yeah, that's not bad.
It's real reasonable. I made copies of the comics that's in the work, Knockout. So one for you and one for you. The name of the issue, I'm calling it, is Wham Bam Thank You Ma'am.
Okay.
So the story on this one right here, Knockout, basically he's cleaning around the house or whatnot, and he's doing the chores, and his personality is real similar to Deadpool. He's a comical character. And then his sidekick cat Speedy Mitts is wandering around the house, and he sees this mysterious bad guy in his room, and he's stealing all these action figures from his room, and he's making them alive and putting them over this evil spell. So the cat's like, oh no, I gotta go get Knockout. So while Knockout's cleaning and stuff like that, he goes to get Knockout, and in the meantime, you see Mr. Potato Head, forming an army full of Legos. You see a teddy bear with a rifle gun. You see a monkey with a doll baby's head, and you see one of the aliens from Toy Story.
Okay.
He's all evil and stuff like that. And so
Now, who wouldn't like that, right? The little alien evil.
he's probably my favorite character from Toy Story. And so they confront each other, and the villain, he basically doesn't really want to fight at first, so he dashes out the window. And so Knockout goes and chases after him, basically, while Speedy Mitts is, holding down the fort. He's knocking out all the evil toys and all that stuff. So Knockout chases him into this abandoned building where he gets his butt kicked by the bad guy. And so, meanwhile, back at the house, Speedy Mitts, he beats up he beats up all the toys, and he's like, hey, since I beat the ugly out of you, let's go help Knockout. And they're like, agreed, so we're all going to go help him. So Knockout's back to Knockout. He's hanging upside down, tied up with just his chonies on, And so he's asking the bad guy, like, why'd you take my clothes off? He's like, to humiliate you, of course, duh. And so he's like, oh, okay. And so as soon as the bad guy's about to, hit him with a final blow, Speedy Mitts comes in, and saves the day. And so the toys are untying Knockout in the process.
Okay.
And then Knockout and the bad guy start their confrontation and everything. And then in the end, he wins.
Nice.
So it's a funny comic.
That's good comedy right there.
I get a kick out of it.
So, Deadpool's your favorite Marvel character.
When I was little, Venom was my favorite.
Venom?
Yeah, but over time, after reading his miniseries and all that stuff, I read him because he's funny. He's
Wisecracks.
Yeah, the guy who does the narrations and all that stuff, who writes the stories for all Deadpool comics. Oh man, he's a character.
I've always thought of him as like a cross between like Spider-Man and Batman, or Spider-Man and Wolverine,
Wolverine,
that kind of thing. Put him together, and it's like he's like that kind of brutal, serious character, but he's really funny and joking around.
Yeah.
What he's doing is more like Wolverine or Batman and that kind of thing, but then he's like joking and stuff like Spider-Man. And you're like, I don't know what. I remember the first time it was. I didn't buy it. I got it. It got sent as. I don't remember. It was like a sampler. I don't know if I bought a toy, something, and I was like, what is this? It's like, you know, he's like killing people, he's doing stuff, and he's like joking.
Yeah, and he's happy about it.
Yeah, and I was pretty young. I didn't know what to think of it. I was like, this is interesting. Who is this guy? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. So, you said Bagley's your art, like your inspiration for art, and Deadpool essentially is he essentially your inspiration when it comes to writing, or is it just?
Yeah, because I want to keep a funny,
lighthearted thing?
Yeah, kind of funny based comic book. So Deadpool is basically my good reference right there.
So how far along do you think this is?
I think I'll be done by December, so I want to get it printed up by January.
Okay. So it'll be up quick.
The drawings I've given you guys from the 17 pages, I've just done this week.
Oh, okay.
So this is all from
so
this
you're like,
week.
really?
I think you're just banging them out.
Yeah, these are the sketches from this week. So.
You think you're gonna get in, like, start your own company, or get into somebody else's company?
No, not start my own company. I do it because I like to draw, and it's fun, you know. So that's why I do it.
Okay.
Yeah. And plus, you know, I like to hear what other people think about it and stuff like that. Like, you know, did you like it, and hear their commentary on it? So, you know, these are the better things in life right here. You know, these are what makes people happy.
Doing it because you love it.
Yeah.
I didn't notice at first. I think it's really funny in his costume. I just thought it was like earbuds.
Yeah,
you know,
but the little
boxing
boxing
gloves. That's awesome.
After that,
Yeah.
like,
That's cool.
Yeah, so I get a lot of inspiration from. I also get a lot of inspiration from like crappy artwork that I see. Like,
Yeah, I'm the same way.
if I pick up like a giant size Wolverine comic and they have multiple stories in there, and you see one with just crappy artwork, you're like, man, I could do better than that.
I'm the exact same way. I used to do that. I was
you
like,
go and you just sit down with a piece of paper and you outdo it right there.
you know, you like quit. Like, I'm not good enough. I can never do it. And you pick up something. You're like, well, that sucked. I gotta get back to doing it. I'm better than that.
It's like I think of like, how did they get this guy in here, you know?
Yeah.
But that's the way the cookie crumbles, you know.
Yeah, it's cool. So your basic future plans are just keep making your comics and when you say publishing, like, what are you having them printed and then
printed up,
selling them at conventions, or
you know, it's real hard to sell comics as a local artist, and for a character that doesn't have an establishment, people really aren't gonna buy it. They're like, why should I buy this? I don't know nothing about him. So you got to give away those freebies at first.
So you're just gonna be like that really cool guy that's always handing out his free comics.
Pretty much.
All right.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So not only are they super funny, great artwork, it's like, here, it's free.
Yeah, exactly.
You're gonna reach that 5,000 fan limit on Facebook really fast.
Yeah. One of my favorite parts in the new comic that I'm making is while Knockout's doing the chores, you know, he's kind of just kissing the rubber ducky right here, and then he's washing the toilet, he's scrubbing the floor, and he finds a mirror, and he's all just checking himself out in the mirror, you know. So it's a funny comic. So I'll see if Ben can put up a couple here, you know, for customers that come in. So Empire Comics should have some, and then also Metropolis Comics in Elk Grove off of Calvine. They'll have some.
All right, cool. Do you have a website or anything like that?
I post because we did a color version of the Deadpool comic right there. You guys can check that out. I did that on Photoshop and put the process of it on YouTube.
Okay.
So if you go to youtube.com/sizzle916, you can check it out. Name Sizzles because I also do music, so that's my stage name.
All right,
so, yeah. It's a kind of cross between doing music and drawing.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, well, that was I sure appreciate you giving us these. These are awesome.
No problem,
Can't
man.
wait to actually sit down and read them. So.
You know, this one's not finished, but you know, you'll get the.
You know,
basic
sometimes I
concept.
like that even better because I get to see like your process, and I love your idea of almost working backwards in that sense. That's great. I'm like, I'm gonna have to try that next time I try.
That's the only way I know how to get through it. You know, I can't do page by page by page. I have to write the whole thing out first, and then start with
awesome.
the drawings.
Well, thank you, Ed. It was great
Thanks.
meeting you and
You too.
seeing your stuff.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right. Well, hopefully you guys love that interview as much as we did, and hopefully you love the idea of what we're doing. If so, please go to geekchurch.net, and you'll see on the kind of the right-hand side, sign up for our newsletter, so you can be updated every time we have a new episode come out. Other stuff, we have some other exciting news coming up, and I don't know how much I can say, so I'll just refrain and not say. But I'll just say there'll probably be a trailer / promo video coming out soon, geared towards those interested in publishing their own indie comic, and it may or may not help you down that path a little bit. But that's all I'm authorized to say at this moment. So drop us a line at not at gmail.com, at geekchurch@gmail.com. Of course, our website, I already said it, but geekchurch.net. Sign up for our newsletter. Share this video. If you're watching it on YouTube or something, you can embed it in your blog or your Facebook. At the same time, if you're on our website, or if you're not, go to the website and find this video, episode 35. And there's some social sharing options somewhere on the bottom. So click on all those that you have. There's Facebook and Twitter. Come on, you owe it to us at the very least to do that. Why do you owe it to us? I don't know. I'm just making that up, and hopefully you're gonna go with my Jedi mind skills. You owe it to us. So do at least those two. There's some other ones. Dig some other ones on there, and I find it really funny. My personal favorite is the print option. I guess that's social. You can print out the page and share it with people, but then they don't really see the video. They just see like the picture, see like the little. Oh, that was horrible. Wait, I got the wrong hand.